Welcome to Mountaineer Monday, presented by US Cellular. Hi, everybody. We welcome you in. Tony Caridi along with Jed Drenning following West Virginia's 41-31 victory over the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers. Quite a performance, a very memorable game. Obviously, the weather will always be remembered, but more significantly, perhaps, was the tale of two halves. West Virginia's defense allowing 31 first-half points. The Mountaineers went into the locker room trailing by 10. They end up winning by 10 points. They throw a shutout against Rutgers in the second half. Where shall we begin?
Well, you know, the truth of the matter is, Tony, I was in the locker room, and in no uncertain terms, let's just say an issue or a challenge was issued to that West Virginia defense by Jeff Castile and the defensive staff, and they called correctly what Rutgers was going to try and do and come out in the second half. They expected, hey, they're going to come out in two tights and try and stuff it down our throats, and that's what Rutgers with that lead tried to do. The defense swelled up in the second half just when we needed them to do so. I think we'd be remiss to not talk about Darwin Cook. Not only did he lead the team in tackles with 11, 5 or 6 solos, but every single possession that kid came off the field, he was grimacing in pain. I mean, he was hurting. He was playing injured. He was stepping up and answering the bell. What a football game by Darwin Cook. The defense, as has been the case for how many years now, just when you need the plays the most, the defense stepped up and gave you those plays and delivered.
You take a look at some of the statistical categories, and conventionally, when you look at some of these stats, you're saying, wait a second, that can't happen if that is the number. Well, here's one of them for you. West Virginia was just 2 of 13 on third down conversions. That's not something to be boastful about, but you say it is a part of this offense that third down means less than it used to mean.
Well, that's true, and it's very difficult with what Coach Holgorsen does to shoot this through a conventional prism and say, well, it was successful or it wasn't. Because when you look at those types of numbers, ordinarily in conventional offenses, they carry the day, third down success. But we've seen him do this through the years. In other words, we were 2 of 13 and beat Rutgers. Well, when he was at Texas Tech, he had a couple games in which he converted 1 third down and won some very convincing and tough road matches against the likes of Texas A&M and Nebraska. Well, you might ask, how does he do this? Well, the truth of the matter is, we've all bared witness to this. This offense is very streaky, but when it gets hot, it gets white hot, and there are no third downs. I mean, when it gets in that rhythm for that quarter and a half or maybe 2 quarters a game, there are no third downs. So the rest of the game, when it's struggling and going 3 and out and punting and giving the other team the ball back, it's not going to hurt you as much if we continue to find that rhythm and those key points in the game.
Well, after it was over, Coach Holgorsen and members of the Mountaineers met with media members, and our MSN microphones and cameras were there.
First half, I mean, it was tough. They came out, they were ready to play. They gave a great effort. They played a great game, and we had to come back into halftime and, you know, look at ourselves in the mirror and see what we wanted to do, and we had to go out there and make plays.
The footing at first when we came out, we actually had molded cleats on, and then a lot of people think that molded would be better because, you know, it's not slippery because of the metal of the other cleats. And we actually needed to change the metal because they were deeper and they was able to, you know, dig a little bit. I remember we ran the blitz and Bruce just ran straight, and I'm right behind him, and he literally ran straight. And all quarterback could do is just step up. And, you know, we got that changed. A lot of guys changed there the second half, and Bruce was able to get pressure, and then we was able to get a sack and a few tackles for a loss once we did that. So that helped out a lot.
Coach kept saying, you know, adversity's going to hit, and defense gave us a big stop, and we just took it with it and had a nice drive down the field to take the lead.
While the Mountaineers scored a snowy victory over Rutgers, WVU's men's soccer team posted a very key victory at Notre Dame against the nationally ranked Irish. Let's check in on that and the rest of the varsity sports action. West Virginia not only beat Rutgers, but got a huge boost in its attempt to win the conference when Louisville beat up on Syracuse, and we mean beat them up badly. Was that the same Syracuse team West Virginia had just faced? No, it wasn't, but it'll be the same Louisville team that they'll see here coming up on Saturday. Charlie Strong's doing a great job.
I tell you what, I'm picking up what he's putting down. I'm a Charlie Strong guy. You had to wonder just a short few weeks ago, in the middle of the season, here we were the first week of October, and you're firing your offensive coordinator, your play caller. Ordinarily, that's a very disjointed situation that spells bad things for that team, but they've responded pretty fast. favorably. They've circled the wagons. You know what you're getting with Charlie Strong, a very fundamentally sound defensive football team. They're great technicians on that side of the ball. They've had an inability to move the ball, though, but in recent weeks, that running game started to turn the corner. You see a lot of promising things in Teddy Bridgewater. He was very ballyhooed as a freshman coming in. He's starting to reach a comfort zone in that Louisville offense. I think they're a dangerous football team insofar as points could be more at a premium against these guys than against any other team we face in this conference.
Should be a really great game because I think that this West Virginia football team learned tremendously about itself against Rutgers. Defensively, I think they may have, quote-unquote, come into their own, to use a overused trite cliche, but we'll see if that was the seminal moment for this Mountaineer football team when they finally realized what it takes to consistently play well. We'll find out. Kickoff is set for noon. You can keep up to date with the Mountaineers all week long here on MSNSportsNet.com. We'll go soccer news with Inside the 18 on Tuesday, then back to football with Wearing the Jersey on Wednesday. On Thursday, it's the United Bank Playbook. We'll talk with Dana Holgerson and Jeff Castile. Then we'll have our Friday walkthrough. So keep it right here on MSNSportsNet.com. For Jed Drenning, I'm Tony Caridi, and this has been Mountaineer Monday, brought to you by US Cellular.